Greetings from the Erie Coast. This is Matt Shad, and I'm in a familiar place. In a familiar place. Come to see Charity. I'm an idiot. It's like 48 degrees and soggy, and the temperature is dropping, and it's from time to time it's raining or sprinkling. My nose is running, my hands are freezing, but you know what? The creek still flows. Me and Charity's old stomping grounds. Yeah. But I figure I had some I gotta come down here or come up here to grab some ammo for my can, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna stop by, say hi to Charity, come visit the old area, old stomping grounds, check and see if the creek still flows. And indeed it does. Yeah, the wind is howling. Gotta be mindful of widowmakers out here. If you haven't noticed, there's a lot of down trees and big down limbs. Yeah, gotta watch yourself out here. It's gonna take you out easily. So yeah, it's Friday, and it's my day off. Yay, day off. I don't know how that happened, but I won the lottery at work. Yeah, the little house is the keyhole house. The penis store. The penis gate. Sycamore trees. Yeah, it's cold out here. Fuck yeah, it's cold. I'm drinking cold coffee, and so I come out here and fucking see the old area, and go say hi to Charity. She's here to visit since I'm in the area. Wow. Woo! Yep, it's freezing. That wind is brutal. The wind is brutal. Trying not to bust my ass on camera. Never a good day. Nowadays, things get expensive when you fall. Yes, indeed, the creek still flows. Up the natural stairs. It's been very soggy and raining the past 2 or 3 days now. Yeah, all week at work. Most of the days at work, 50, 60 degrees. Majority of the snow is melted. There's still some remnants of snow here and there. But for the most part, it's gone. And then Friday, boom, 48 degrees, 42 degrees. Talk of rain and shit. Let's go, Charity. Thank you and love you. Oh yeah. Oh, it's cold. It's hella cold, y'all. Especially on the hands. Undisturbed. Should have brought a tripod out here. But, yeah, whatever. See if this works. Put you in a tree. Yeah. Maybe. All right. It is really beautiful out here. The sun is starting to shine. Oh. I don't know, how y'all been doing? I'll leave Charity. Love you, Charity. Sleep well. See you during the great hunt. Yeah, so I have plans today to go get some ammo, right? I don't know. That's about it. Just to top off more ammo for my can. Different variations, different grains, things of that nature. And then tomorrow I plan on testing it out. I don't know if I'm going to make a video about it. It appears that this phone does not like gunshots. It did not do well. and I might have damaged the microphone doing this thing. So, I don't know. Hey, why you stab me in the face? So, yeah. I don't know. I guess I could get like a, put some tape over it or something. I don't know. Over the microphone. And just kind of let it do its thing. Try to help to protect it some. I don't know. We shall see. Maybe I'll set up the camera, make a video, have some success. I should. So I started this can journey, and y'all watched it, and a lot of people are, watching the progress and failures that I have. And I surely want to, and it helps, right? I mean, I was very naive going into this, going, oh man, I got a suppressor, slap it on and shoot and everything's gonna be quiet. No, there's more to it, right? There's more to it. Right? Different grains, different things. I mean, I could different modifications I can make to the gun, different just so many things, physics and mechanics and engineering. A lot of times we just figure, well, it's gonna work, and then when it does it, we're like perplexed. Start going through our it exposes our problem solving skills, or lack thereof. You're like, well, maybe I got a lot to learn here, and then you start learning things, and people start sharing. I mean, so many people have shared solutions and things. Shout out to Joe Morgan. I mean, shout out to Rip. Shout out to Lawfully Armed. Shout out to everybody that's helped me along this this suppressor journey. I don't know. Can y'all hear me? The wind is howling. Wow. Well, I make it back to the truck. Shit. Thus, I have heard that there's tornadoes and shit going on, and I gotta tie my shoe. Look at that. Of course I do. Gotta tie my shoe. I don't know. Kind of looking like it. It's kind of feeling like it. Huh. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. Let's see if you stay. Huh? Tie my shoes here. Yes, look at the sky. Look at the trees. Watch my back. Make sure no widowmakers fall on me here. Yes, and this being Friday, thank you, Tree. This being Friday, we will definitely have Lackluster Fridays. And I also came down this way. I'm gonna go to my storage unit and get I gotta find a power cord for my laptop. I'm still working on the trial by axe thing. It's a process for me, right? Getting back into this, all that, and I want to be able to, because trial by axe is chat is it's all about the chat, right? Unless you come up on panel. But even then, it's all about the chat. I like seeing chat. I cannot see chat on my phone. In the StreamYard platform. So, having a laptop, being able to see chat, having all the options available to me, be a real YouTube creator. Yeah, I can create some quality content, right? Even though I'm known for my shit shows, literally. See you, Charity. Love you, girl. But that's my plan. Is to do that. You would think that I would put the power cord with the fucking laptop like a normal person. I'm just not normal, right? And hastily just moving, throwing shit in bags and boxes and, you know, in the back of the truck and into a fucking storage unit and say, okay, great. There it is, done. Until you actually need something. And then you're like, well, fuck, I need this. Well, now you got to dig through everything, try to remember where everything is. Try to remember your organization scheme that you did into this storage unit. You know, try to remember, where the fuck is this stuff? Oh man, I have no fucking clue, right? So here we are. Who knows how long that's going to take? Hopefully not long, but you never know. Push butt for right. Push the butt. Oh, here we go. We're moving. We're walking briskly. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yay, we survived the crosswalk. The fuck? And I don't like the idea of having, I kind of like the idea of having off-site storage area, you know. But all my preps are there. Most of my preps are there. So it's having to prioritize what to put here, what to keep with me, what to keep off-site, you know, and you know, logistics, right? Logistics. How feasible is it for me to navigate through the storage area? Oh shit, we got some Canadian geese. Looks like they're arguing with some mallard ducks. I know, they're trying to call their friend over. Hey, dumbass, we're on this side of the creek. Okay. There you go. Canadian geese and their arguments. Wouldn't it be cool to be able to translate what they're fucking saying? You know, as humans, we've developed a very complex communication skills throughout the many thousands of years that we've been in existence, you know, with each other and things of that nature. And a lot of it is organic, right? A lot of it it comes from people of your group, people of your tribe, people of your area, right? And then when we start to branch out and get bigger and experience different groups with different languages, they're like, oh, we need some kind of standardization. We need some kind of standardization of communication. So that we can all, like, you know, interact with each other. Oh man, this is gonna suck. Okay. Come on. Boom. I don't know. Things I think about. Things that I think about. You know, the animal world is now it's species driven, right? Each species has their own way of communicating with each other. Now, through study, through you know, exposure, watching and learning, you know, what species that we're watching and learning, dogs, cats, right? We kind of ascertain, all right, there's no Rosetta Stone, but I mean, you understand if a dog is angry, if a dog loves you, if a dog is, you know, you understand these things. You understand they communicate. They're like, they let you know, like, hey, motherfucker, I need to go out. I gotta piss, you know, or I gotta take a dump. So shit like that, we get to learn. Cats and things like it's difficult, and a lot of things get lost in translation, if you will. And the same could be said about humans, but we know we innately know each other. That whole you know, having empathy, you know, knowing how someone feels through their facial expressions, their body language, things of that nature, their intent. We get to learn what people how people feel, what they're experiencing, what they're feeling inside. Kind of gives us an insight, you know, of what to look for. You gonna go, or you just gonna sit there? All right. Gotta love Cleveland. So, I don't know. It only comes through interaction and experience, and knowing what you're experiencing, learning, you're enabling learning objectives, and you know, things like that. You know, being unbiased, understanding your limitations, and your understanding. Understanding your limitations of understanding. How stupid are you? Well, we can be pretty fucking stupid. And where we think we have empathy, it's, you know, we're getting mixed signals. Some people are very stoic, don't let you know how they feel. Some people let you know exactly how they feel. And some people will emote how they feel, yet they feel a totally different way. It's not what they meant. You know, it's oh, okay, we got to slow fuck down. All right. Women, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not picking on you women, but if a woman asks you, how do you really feel? Tell me what you really think. Don't tell her, because she don't want to know. I'm telling you. Lie.
be complimentary, complimentary as fuck. What are you doing? What? There's no stop sign. Go. People are, I don't know, maybe they're just very nice, but whatever. That's the other thing too, is how people are actually feeling, you know. Kind of, we are, as much as we think we're smart and intelligent, we're still ruled by emotions. We still are. We are still ruled by emotions in a lot of decision making that we have. It's part of the human condition. It really is. You know, my strategy has always been and always has been to, if I'm going into a conflict with somebody or chess or something, is to fuck with them, to elicit a emotional response. If I can elicit an emotional response from that person, and I might have to work at it, it judges. I get to judge how emotional these people are. My adversary is, whatever the case may be, right? Get in their head, right? That kind of shit. And if I can do that and influence their decision-making process through their emotions, sound familiar? Yeah, this tactic is used on us on a daily basis. Yeah, pull up social media. Used to be your TV and the news. Before that, it was newspaper and books. Before that, it was the town crier. Shit like that. Yeah, you gonna walk it out? Walk it out. Walk it out. I can turn. All right, let's go. Not run over the large furries that populate this area. Then I can almost certainly have victory. I mean, almost certainly. Sun Tzu said it best. Those who can be led to their death, those who are willing to fight. And you have to think about how he's saying it in the context. Those who are willing to fight in anger or whatever can easily be led to their death. Many generals have made extremely rash decisions under emotions and paid dearly, for those mistakes. It is. I mean, it's just the way it is. If something called emptiness and fullness. If I'm sitting on a hill, very tall hill, and I've got a nice area of operation, a nice observation area. I've got nice, beautiful fields of fire. I'm on a covered, hardened, concealed, covered, hardened position. It is hard to get to me, right? And I look through my fucking binoculars and I see 100 miles away, I see the enemy. All right, I'm on top of a hill, and there's I don't know, say 50,000 of us, right? And the enemy, he is like 300,000, and he is running to get to me, running across open fields, running across vast distances. He is getting, and I might just go fuck with him. I might just send out some raiding parties. I might send out some harassment patrols. I might send out some people just to fuck with him, just to piss him off, right? Send out my spies, send out my saboteurs, and they just fuck with him. Steal his shit, burn his shit, shoot a few people here and there and then run away and hide. It's a very demoralizing kind of thing, right? To face an enemy like that. And they know where I'm at. I'm on the hill. And I'm well rested. We've got fire. We've got food. We got water. We've been drinking beer. We've been eating steak and shrimp. Right? We've got entertainment. People are just I've got plenty of ammo. I've got plenty of supplies and munitions. My guns are cleaned. They're in well-maintaining, well-working order. Meanwhile, this guy is, the enemy is running through the muck and the mire, pushing everything he has. Horses are dying. People are breaking their bones, you know, and falling down by the wayside to try to get to me. And I'm just sitting back like, this motherfucker don't quit. I mean, you gotta, you know, recognize that gets some attitude. But if he's just recklessly just coming at me, I'm just leading him right into a trap. By the time he gets to me, he's lost 150 men. And the rest are all extremely tired, frustrated, you know, and ready to quit. You know, it's here we are, well rested. We've been eating our fucking Wheaties. Everybody's got coffee, and we're ready to go. And meanwhile, he's depleted all his resources just to get to me. And through my harassment campaigns, I've been able to successfully piss him the fuck off, right? To the point where he will now stop at nothing to be led to his death, led to his defeat. So something has to be said about making decisions in a emotional state, right? Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that talk about that. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest, you know, philosophers, I think, and especially in strategy, and just wow. I mean, can you dig it? Can you dig it? You know, try not to make those rash decisions, you know, based on your emotions. And we see that that's what exactly is happening, is especially with crime, violent crime, domestic violence, things of that nature are all crimes of passion, right? You know, something has to be said about crimes of passion, and you know, it's the quiet man that says, you know what, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to bide my time. I'm going to devise a plan to exact that revenge, that vengeance. That's something different, right? That's making a plan and getting to it. But anyway, I don't know why I got on this tangent. I gotta go. Thank you very much for hanging out with me with The Creek Still Flows. I am at the gun store. I'm gonna go check out some ammo. Until later on tonight, Skull. Wait, you're still here? You want to hear more? All right. Okay. Cool. What were we talking about? I don't know. A little truck talk. You know, Creek Still Flows to the truck talk. All right. Let's go. It appears that things are getting a little windy. How about we talk about war? Yes, war. War! War! Right? War. So, what happens to a country in war? If it's a war of, you know, not on our shores, all wars are taxing. All wars are costly, right? It costs money to run a war. It does. To wage war costs a lot of money, a lot of resources, a lot of lives, right? And everyone suffers. Even if you win, what is the cost of winning, you know? That's something that I often wonder. Yeah, we won this war, but how much did it cost us? How much did it put us back? War on terror, war on drugs. Oh, I hear sirens. Let's see what happens. And it does appear, I mean, I can't say for certain that we're going to war, right? Let's just imagine the possibility, right? Let's just imagine the possibility. What always happens in a war setting, in war, when America goes to war, the great juggernaut goes to war. And yes, we are the biggest, baddest motherfucker out there. And we hope that that our might is tempered with discernment and morals and ethics and values that make America great. But they're not. Oh, I'm in the wrong end. Oh no, I made a wrong turn in Albuquerque. Shit. Thank you. Thank you. I can't make a U-turn. Oh, that sucks. Oh well. Yeah, I missed my exit. So we're gonna have to reroute. Anyway, you look at the wars of lore, the wars that we had, World War I, World War II, things like that. It was a major effort. And people suffered. Even though there was no war on our shores, you felt it. The price of everything goes up. Price of everything. There's more talk of security and spies, and it changes the society. It changes the people and how they interact with each other. Those that we go to war with, in the past, like the Japanese, right? We actually put up detention camps, right? We made detention camps for Japanese Americans. They were Americans, yet we put them into internment camps just because they were Japanese, of Japanese descent, because we feared. Yeah, I was here first, fool. Because we feared, some type of spies or saboteurs or something like that from that type of, population that we were going to war with. Which there were Japanese that actually fought. Japanese Americans, right? Americans first, that's the thing. They were considered Americans. They considered themselves Americans that did fight in the war. So there were Germans that fought. German Americans, which 70% of America is German descent. One way or the other. Fought in the wars against Germany. So, we didn't put them in internment camps, did we? I don't know. Definitely expect to see that. Right? This unhealthy, the eye, like, who are you? That's always the case when you go to war with a nationality that is not, another country. Is you start to look at that ethnic group and go, well, they're all a threat, even though they've been living peacefully here for 250 years or whatever case may be. Well, we gotta look at them with an eye of suspicion and adjust accordingly. But I'm an idiot. Anyway, I took a wrong turn that turned into a wrong turn that turned into a wrong turn, so here we are. Yeah, you on that phone? Yeah, most people are on their phone. How you doing? So yeah, there's going to be that suspicion, that suspicion of other people that are not American, or they are American. They just have that ethnicity, that nationality of the people that we're going to war against, right? Or conflict or things of that nature. This is a true melting pot of the world. We have everyone, in the world is recognized here. There's Mongolians here. There's the smallest damn Papua New Guinea, the smallest damn countries are here in some type of mass, right? So, with families, that go back generations that have lived here, right? They might own a store or a restaurant near you that you've been doing business with for 10, 15 years. Yet a war happens, and next thing you know, we're all like, what about so and so, man? I don't know. He's that ethnicity. I hope that we don't get to that point. And you've seen, we didn't really see a lot of it on the in the GWAT years, right? This. People that were Muslim or whatever was just like, I don't know about that guy. You still had some suspicion, right? And I have Muslim friends, and they're just like, Allah Akbar, like, dude, don't say that. I'm like, what? I'm just fucking with you, right? I'm like, oh, okay, all right, but you're still in the back of your mind, you're like, I don't know, does he got a vest, that goes kapooey? I gotta watch what I say, right? Gotta watch what I say nowadays. But especially on this platform. Yeah. But I mean, is it really? What does it do? It fucking went the wrong way again. It really does change the people, especially if it's a large war, right? So if it's a big war, it's a near peer adversary. Yet, one could argue: is there any near peer adversary to the massive might of America? We can field a lot of troops, but we also augmentate that with technology and integration and things of that nature. So it's the military might of America is something that the history of the world has never seen since Genghis Khan or the Romans. It surpasses them. We could essentially take over the world. We could. And would it be difficult? Yes, it would be difficult. We would be fighting the world. But hypothetically speaking, it is possible. If we ever had allies, I don't know. Does America have allies now? And who would turn against America? So that's the biggest question too. Is say we have this conflict with Iran. We know that Israel is right there with us by our side. Hell, they would argue that they want to spearhead it. All right. And it's kind of like our job to kind of rein them in. Like, calm down there, little brother. Right? But I also remember about 4 or 5 years ago, a certain general, and I say this without without names, because it could be hearsay. It could be here and there. It could be nothing. It could be everything. So that way I skirt the algorithms, I guess. But realizing that they had a plan to destabilize the Middle East 5-6 years ago, and they made that plan. They told everyone that plan. This is our plan, and this is the plan to essentially, once the Middle East is destabilized and basically proxy governments are put in, we win the world. The Middle East is the key to the world, just like the United States is the key to the world. The United States is the monkey wrench in the axis of evil, if you will, that wants to take over the world, militarily, whatever. There is no one stopping China except for us. That's it. I mean, yeah, China's a paper tiger, sure, but it's a really big paper tiger. And just because they don't have the capabilities that the United States military has, doesn't mean that they cannot succeed. They're very smart, very ingenious. They're not afraid to take innovative risk. They're not afraid to sacrifice all their people, all their resources for a goal. Now, they don't like to, obviously, because they know that whatever. But they also know that the best way to deal with the awesome military might of America is literally to turn it into a war of attrition. Because we only have X amount of bullets, X amount of missiles, X amount of ships, and that takes time to build and to rebuild. So if they just throw all their shit at us, their cheap Chinese crap or Russian crap or whatever, even if there is a coalition of the willing that goes against the United States, if they just throw all their little things at us, drones, their cheap missiles, right, their proxy soldiers, and we respond with our top tier weapons and munitions, then when we run out, and now we're forced to use our low tier munitions and stuff of that nature, equipment, we've run out of boats, we've run out of missiles, we've run out of bullets, then they move up to their top tier stuff. And then it's like, oh shit. It's kind of doing the rope-a-dope, so to speak, if you will. Maybe it works. Maybe they get knocked out, because there's always that final solution option, right? The mutual assured destruction. Mad. We might just get mad on them. That's it. Boom. You are now glass. You are now your country is now a parking lot. Japan's back there going, told you. You shouldn't touch their boats. So, I mean, I don't know. It is dangerous, and what would happen then, because we kept the fight off Whoa, we got some wind. Holy shit. Almost blew me into the next lane. What was I saying? Our initial attacks and initial response would be brutal, and it just might knock them down. Might knock them out. So I don't know. But we kept. If we keep the fight off our shores, and then they run their war of attrition, and now we're essentially defenseless. War could come to our shores. It's a possibility. There's also has something to be said about the sleeper cells, right? Your provocateurs and your saboteurs. We already know that this population, our population, is ripe with strife. Insurgency is already here of people willing to rabble, to be the domestic terrorists, to step up to the plate and start taking out targets of opportunity inside our borders. Already. They're already doing it. On a low scale, of course. But if the war kicks off, then if our anti-insurgent apparatus, is not up to par or misses something, things can pop off here, right? But there's also the how can we say this? Acceptable losses. There's a pie chart. The United States is so big. It's so vast. We could absorb a lot of things that happen here. A lot of damage. And still be American. Still be the United States of America. Even though they turn New York into a parking lot, or Los Angeles into a parking lot, or something of that nature. We can still operate. We have hardened structures and bunkers, and things hidden, in plain sight that, hell, our population could just open up as well and start being used. We could essentially, man, this wind blowing me all over the place. So stay true. I don't think I'm drunk. Like, dude, you got like 50-mile-an-hour gusts throwing me all over the place. What the fuck? I wouldn't see that happening anytime soon, though. But as people that have a prepared mindset, it's very important to think of these things, I guess. To hypothesize, wargame. What would be the biggest threat? Look at your demographics, look at your area, look at where you live. What is the major threat? I've always had the assumption that the biggest threat would be social unrest or financial instability. Things are tight. Wartime, things are tight. There's no gas because it's all being thrown in the war effort. There might be no food because that's all going to the war effort. Will there still be gas? Will there still be food? Yeah. We'll still have power. We'll still have all the necessary essentials needed to survive. Would it be an economic collapse though? It's a possibility, right? But the war effort also, it does suck up a lot of resources. it also makes a lot of resources, right? Like money. It creates a lot of jobs, a lot of wealth, especially if they're if people are. Oh, there it is. Got it. Nailed it, Governor. You know, people get richer in wartime while the majority of the people get poorer, hard times, and things of that nature. So navigating that world during a war, what I don't know. I'm trying to say it, but I'm not trying to say it a certain way. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't. Because I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying. Right? Could we survive? Yes. But it's not going to be something like what Ukraine faces. It's not going to be something like we have this shelter. We do. We have this buffer zone. These two oceans on the other side of us. We have a very cold land mass above us, which is also a threat but we have allies. Canada is our ally. That's cool. Oh, where's this gun store? Service stability? What? Brunhilde, what are you telling me? Service stabilities, things like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting close. All right, cool. Right off the bat, of course, we know that oil prices are going to skyrocket. Right? Nobody's going to want to travel and produce oil, to transport oil in a war setting. The oil tankers get seized, they get exploded, things like that. War doesn't care about the environment, so the environment's going to suffer. Ukraine was the once infertile breadbasket of the world, is now a fucking toxic wasteland. It really is. It's a toxic wasteland. And it's going to continue to be that way for years to come. So, going the right way. I don't know if I passed it. I hope I did. We're relatively sheltered and lucky in that aspect to be America, because we have this natural buffer. We can see them coming a mile away. Found it. It's right here. Boom. Oh yeah. Cool. I got one more stop after this. Then I have what I need. So I think that, if I had my crystal ball, which sometimes I do, I think that we'll be fine. Things will be tight. Things will be financially tight. We probably have to worry about a lot more crime because of financial, instability, and the sleeper cells and the tangos, the tango threats. It might be an issue, of course. So taking our security into our own hands, will be essential. And with that being said, I'm gonna stop this, pause for a minute, and maybe I'll come back. I'm sure I will, and we'll talk later. Okay, well, yeah, so I'm back. You know, you gotta love a good gun shop, and have a great. You know what? It's therapy for men. It really is. It's therapy for men. It's an expensive hobby, but I was successful. I've got some S&B Cellar Relay, S&B Subsonic 9mm. Got a box of that stuff. I hear that's really good stuff. 147 grain. Anyway, what were we talking about? War. So it would be a fool's errand for any nation, any country to try to invade us, right? So there's, you know, there's a gun behind every blade of grass kind of thing. That's true. From estimation, they say that, you know, there's at least 550 million guns, if that they know of. So that they know of, right? And there's only 338 million of us in this country. So yeah, imagine each person having 5 or 6 guns, which most people, I don't know, you know, it gets expensive. You start becoming a collector. But anyway, would war come to our shores? I mean, maybe, yes. I can't say that. I can't say no. I can't say a definite yes. I can't say a definite no. Is it a possibility? Yeah, it's a possibility, and you know that the adversary is actually thinking that. But even if they did, it would be short-lived. It would. The capabilities, the homeland defense capabilities, and like I said before, we can absorb a lot just because of the nature of our country, the topographical nature of our country. We can absorb a lot. Would it change our way of life? Sure, yes. Like I said, war changes everything. War changes, you know, it changes the society. You know, you become a war fighting. Now, what we have to be careful of, though, is, you know, trading in safety and security for freedom. There's a balance. There is a definite balance, right? A lot of things we might have to sacrifice because things just might get a little crazy here in the confines of our own nation. It might get a little crazy. We still know that subversion is a thing, and we are literally living through subversion. So, and the biggest thing that they have is that massive buildup of subversive, useful idiots that are willing to get out here and do stupid shit, right, en masse, and they're recruiting more and more as it carries on. So, you know, nowadays it's, you know, anyone that has blue hair, anyone that has piercings and stupid little tattoos all over the face, you know, is more along the lines of being suspicious than, say, an ethnic group. I mean, you know, the wokeness, right? The woke culture. Which, oddly enough, is not a lot, really. But it's not just the youth, right? It's just not this generation alpha or generation, whatever the fucking generation they name us. I think I'm Gen Z, you know, or I know I'm Gen X, right? Am I Gen X? Yeah, I think I'm Gen X, right? You know, Gen X, Y, Z, whatever, and Generation Alpha 1. I don't know, whatever. Fuck. It's not just them. It's the older people behind it too. You've seen with this No Kings protest that just came up nationwide. It was a majority of geriatrics, right? People who drive Subarus and have 401ks, and, maybe retirees, rich liberals, people that actually went to Woodstock, perhaps, so it's not just the younger crowd, right? You're looking at a demographic of people that span many generations, that believe in this that have this virus, this parasite inside them, that this revolution, this Marxist communist parasite that is festering and feeding on the population of useful idiots, because that's exactly what they are, useful idiots. While the rest of us, the majority of hardworking patriots and Americans, constitutionalists, whatever you want to call us, right? People that just, we believe in freedom, and we just want to be left alone, and we just don't understand. I do, but most of us just don't understand what the fuck is going on. What's Subversion 101? And it starts with that population and the recruitment of those people, right? And getting them organized. See, they're organized, and that's how it starts. That's how that starts to ramp up. The dissension and the subversion works. It's magic through the social medias, through the entertainment industries. They create their bubbles, and they start to recruit, and more people are recruited, and more people are brainwashed, literally brainwashed. And it is. And then the numbers grow until they have a large enough force, even though they don't outnumber us, a large enough force to exact change in our society, which we are already starting to see this. Throughout the COVIDs is when everything really started to ramp up, right? We've seen a lot more subversion, a lot more Marxist bullshit happening in our government, in our AGs, and yeah, they have huge money backings, the Soroses and all the rest of the EOs, I call them, the elite occultist. Oh, and funny how all that's being validated, right? All that is being validated. Well, damn. Not to say I was right or anything, but I was. And I'm not the first one. So, not only have they been telling us for, I don't know, centuries of what their plan is, there's been countless whistleblowers and conspiracy theorists that have been, silenced or dismissed as crazy. And, well, yeah, you got to be a little crazy, because it's a crazy world. It literally is a crazy fucking world. What they want, what they have planned for this world, and us especially, is evil, diabolical, and ongoing. Right? The whole Epstein, the Epstein farm. Jeffrey! Oh, Jeffrey! Jeffrey, you're such a bad boy, Jeffrey. The files, let's call them the files, that's just because we found that out, we're like, oh, good, that's been come to light. No, it's still going. It's still ongoing. These people are still out there, and they're operating with impunity, with no, still doing their evil, unchecked. They just hide. They hide and do their thing. One of these days I'll talk about their Terra Mar. That's the new thing. That was Jizz's jizzes and El Jefe's Jeffrey. That was their religion of the island, was Terramar, which basically says that, their statement is everything the water touches is their kingdom. Yeah. Anyway, the Terramar kingdom. But anyway, and yes, yeah, it was all about the beef jerky, and it was definitely a blackmail op, for very, very powerful people. In every aspect of industry, from the pharmaceutical to the military to the financial world, you name it. Every big shot that is in those fields is in those files. doing crimes against humanity. Yeah, through doing crimes against humanity. And it's true. That's the fucking thing. It's, hate to tell you, but I was right. I mean, that was the whole thing behind Trial by Axe. I forgot to get the fucking cord. Anyway, it's too late now. But maybe I was going to say I'll go to Radio Shack and get a cord, but no, they don't exist anymore, do they? But anyway, there is evil in this world, and war is just a small part of their plan. A small part. It sets the stage for other things, for other tyrannical moves. I mean, let's face it. It's every little conflict, every little crisis plays to their hand. More and more freedoms are lost on the guise of safety and security. I mean, that's that balance. That's that balance. How far do you go? Do you want dangerous freedom? Or do you want tyrannical safety and security? Just saying. Just asking the question. Yet, time and time again, I see both sides calling for the same thing. We need to do something about this situation. We need to do something. The government needs to do something. Well, I mean, it's really not the government's job. And if you give them the job, if you tell them, okay, you please handle that, they'll fuck it up. They always do. And it's not in our benefit. It's not in our favor. What did Reagan say? The worst words you can hear is, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Show me one time that they've helped. Actually helped. I want my government to keep my streets clean, keep my borders secure, and keep the hell out of my business. Figuratively and literally. Yet there is so many restrictions and regulations and fines and fees for things in a business that is just, it's borderline not feasible nowadays. I mean, the taxes alone will run most people off from that endeavor, and that's because we want to do the right thing, and we believe that the right thing is what the government says. But it's the other way around. It's the other way around. We tell the government what we want to do. We do what we want. They do what they can. Right? And then we tell them what we want them to do or not do. That's how it's supposed to work. But it doesn't. So I see more and more on both sides. We need to restrict gun control. We need, what's the new thing now is the trans shooter thing. I mean, I really don't care if you're a trans or whatever. It does signify mental illness to me. I mean, it just says, hey, got some kind of mental instability here. But I know that that's not grounds for someone not having a gun. Okay, maybe it is, maybe it's not. But where do you draw the line? Mental instability. I know quite a few people that are fucking mentally unstable. One could argue myself included, but they still have the right to own guns. I think everybody should have a gun. I do. Regardless of whatever, you should have a gun. And I'm also I also support convicts, ex-convicts with guns. The way I look at it is, if you did your time, you paid the ultimate price. Years upon years of your life, you lost your ability to be a prominent member of society for years. You lost everything. Some people lost everything. Yeah, they made some very bad decisions, right? They paid for it dearly. I think when they get out, that's it. Boom. All rights reinstated. And that includes being able to own and carry and use a firearm. Or vote, or whatever. I know there's a lot of restrictions. But the whole gun thing. Everybody's like, well, what was I talking about? Trans shooters. Oh, maybe they shouldn't have guns. Well, how many people identify as trans? I mean, that's the thing. You've got closet trans. You've got different varieties of trans. I mean, so what the fuck? I mean, where do you draw the line? This latest one got everybody shutting the fuck up, because apparently he was a white supreme pizza of the German flavor transgender biker. I mean, what? Yeah. And it was basically a domestic dispute, really, against his own family members, which is very sad. It's extreme major mental illness. But somebody should have been there with a gun to stop him at a hockey game. Yes, there is way too many restrictions. And, everybody's wondering, oh, well, it'll turn into the wild, wild west if you allow everybody to carry guns in these restricted areas. No, it doesn't. There's a lot of areas that allow people to carry guns, and it doesn't turn into the wild, wild west. If anything, it creates a polite area and safe area, because nobody's going to fuck around, because they'll find out real quick, right? So, you ever been to a gun show? Nobody's shooting anybody. There's guns everywhere. Everybody's got access to guns and ammunition. And carry guns. I mean, whatever. It's... We have this gun culture in this world, in this country, that I'm extremely proud of. Yet we've allowed so many restrictions to stifle our freedoms that it's actually starting to hurt and cost lives. Really, a lot of these mass shootings could have been stopped easily and quickly, right? If not a deterrent, knowing that, okay, there are no soft targets, because that's what these cowards do, is they go for a soft target. They go into a gun-free zone. They go in there and they start, creating havoc in a gun-free zone, because nobody has the ways and means to stop them. Like, they are in charge. They have all the power, and of course they get power drunk from it. That whole mentality. It's, mental illness still recognizes force. I'm just saying. So yeah, I want to see teachers carrying guns. I want to see janitors carrying guns. I want to see church members carrying guns. I want to see guns in the DMV. I want to see people being able to carry guns in their in the courtroom. Yeah, well, maybe not. Okay, but certain areas, I guess it's okay to restrict guns. Guns on an airplane. There'd be a lot less hijackers. But I don't know. It's a little. I mean, you could argue the fact that, okay, maybe guns on airplanes are probably a bad idea because putting a hole in the fuselage could, be very detrimental to everyone. So I guess there could be some restrictions that I'm okay with, just because it makes sense, But most we survived many a decades, a couple hundred years, in fact, with everybody carrying guns everywhere, and not a lot of violence because of it. And so I don't understand either side, saying, hey, we got to do away with this, we got to do away with that. You're going to deny someone the right to defend themselves or their family because of reasons. Well, fuck your reasons. We're Americans, and we do have a history of defiance against tyranny, and whatever that tyranny is, albeit the government, the criminal element, whatever the case may be, we have that. We have that. We have that history of doing that, and we should be able to continue that. But we have become complacent, very complacent, and such is the way of a peaceful society. A peaceful, enlightened society is that we become complacent. We become content. We become sleepy. And tyranny just creeps right in while you're asleep. It starts to take over. It starts to make changes. And, you wake up one day going, what is this new world I live in? So, anyway, I don't know. This is just a truck talk, and it just goes where it goes, I guess. I was talking about wars. Whatever. So, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to leave it there. And we'll get back to you with some lackluster Fridays later on tonight. And hope everybody is doing well. And I say don't worry too much, but always be prepared, right? Continue to train, continue to prep, because we all know it's a mad world out there. Hey, shout out to Rip Curl for that one. Right? This is Mad Shad. Skull.